Hey there, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to tackle a topic that, it trips a lot of people up. Noun gender in English. We're going to break it all down, make it super simple, and I promise you'll leave here with total confidence. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it with the biggest question of all. Does English even have grammatical gender? I mean, if you've ever studied a language like French or Spanish or German, you know what I'm talking about. Nouns can be masculine or feminine for reasons that seem completely random. A table is feminine, a book is masculine. It can be confusing. But in English, well, things work a whole lot differently. And here it is. This is the single most important thing to remember. In modern English, the gender of a noun is pretty much all about its sex, or the absence of sex. It's not based on some weird spelling rule or an ancient tradition. It's just about whether the thing we're talking about is male, female, or neither. Really, it's that simple. So to really get a handle on this, let's just break it all down into 4 simple gender categories. Seriously, once you see these laid out, the whole system is going to click into place. The first 2 are, well, they're exactly what you'd expect. We've got the masculine gender for male beings, like a boy or a lion. And then we have the feminine gender for female beings, like a girl or a lioness. Super straightforward, right? It's all based on natural, biological sex. No tricky grammar stuff here. Okay, now for our third category. And this one is so useful. It's called common gender. These are the nouns that can refer to either a male or a female. And trust me, you use these all the time, probably without even thinking about it. And just look at this list. So many of our everyday words fall right into this group. Parent, child, friend, student, baby. When you say, I'm meeting a friend later, you don't have to specify their gender, right? That's because the word friend works for absolutely everyone. It's so efficient. And that brings us to our 4th and final category, the neuter gender. This is basically the default setting for pretty much any object that isn't alive. That book you're reading, the pen in your hand, the room you're sitting in, even a tree outside. They're not male, they're not female, so they're neuter. Here is such a great way to remember this. Just lock this into your brain. Neuter means neither, as in neither male nor female. If you can just remember that one little phrase, you've pretty much got this concept down. It's the catch-all category for things. But, English just loves to have its little twists and turns, doesn't it? And this is where things get really fun and creative. Because sometimes we actually do give genders to lifeless objects, especially when we're trying to be poetic or literary. Now, the fancy term for this is personification. We're literally giving a person's quality, in this case gender, to something that isn't alive. It's a powerful tool that makes our language so much more vivid and imaginative. And what's really fascinating is that there's a pattern to it. Generally speaking, things that we think of as strong, powerful, or maybe even a little violent, like the sun, winter, or death, we tend to give them a masculine gender. But on the flip side, things that are known for their beauty, their grace, or their gentle nurturing qualities, like the moon, the earth, or spring, those are almost always treated as feminine. Here's a perfect example. The sun sheds his beams. We're imagining the sun as this powerful male figure, right? Generously sharing his strength and light with everyone. And then for the feminine, just listen to this beautiful line, spring has spread her mantle of green. Here, spring is this gentle, life-giving female presence, blanketing the world in beauty. You can really feel the difference, can't you? Oh, and there's one really famous exception that you've probably heard, even if you're not a big poetry reader. Ships. For centuries, sailors have always called their ships she. It's this beautiful sign of affection and respect for the vessel that protects them and carries them home safely. Okay, so we've got the categories down. Theory's over, now let's get practical. How do we actually make the feminine version of a masculine noun when we need to? Well, good news, it is way simpler than you might think. In English, there are really only 3 main ways to do this. So here they are. You either use a completely different word, you add a little ending or a suffix like s, or you just stick a gender-specific word either before or after the main noun. Let's take a quick look at each one. All right, way number one is super common, especially for close family and society roles. Honestly, there's no rule here. You just kind of have to learn the pairs. King and queen, husband and wife, uncle and aunt, wizard and witch. They're totally distinct words, and you probably know a lot of them already. The second method is just adding a suffix. So you can see how author can become authoress, or actor becomes actress, hero becomes heroine. Now, I will say, this was much more common in the past, and some of these, like authoress, are kind of falling out of fashion today. But you really need to pay attention to that S suffix. It's not just the most common one we have, it's basically the only one we still use if we need to invent a new feminine noun today. So if a brand new profession was created tomorrow, its feminine form would almost certainly end in S. And our third way is maybe the most straightforward of all. You just add a gendered word to it. Grandfather becomes grandmother. Landlord becomes landlady. You have a male peacock and a female peahen. A salesman becomes a saleswoman. It's simple, it's clear, you can't go wrong. So after going through all of that, why does any of this actually matter? What is the one big key takeaway I want you to leave with from this explainer? It's this, right here. The English gender system is, at its core, logical. It's based on meaning. That is, on real-world sex or the total absence of it. A book has no sex, so boom, it's neuter. This is a massive difference from languages like Urdu, where a word like lakri for wood is feminine just because, for purely grammatical reasons that have nothing to do with the wood itself. If you can grasp that one fundamental difference, that English follows meaning, not just form, you've found the ultimate shortcut to mastering English nouns. And that just leaves me with one final thought for you. How does your native language handle gender? Is it logical and based on meaning, like English? Or is it based on grammatical rules? Just thinking about that for a second is a fantastic way to make everything we covered today really stick. Thanks for watching The Explainer. If you found this useful, a like and subscribe would be amazing. And if there are other topics you're curious about, drop them in the comments below. Until next time, keep on learning.